Okay, moving on. So if you're taking a break, I think it's a good idea to schedule a specific time to come back to your paper. This will help keep your mind off it in the meantime, but you'll have the peace of mind and security that you know when you're going to start working on it again, so that you don't have to obsess about it. And before you take a break, it's a good idea to send your paper to 1 or 2 colleagues for feedback. So this could be a mentor, a friend, even a spouse or significant other, somebody whose opinion you trust. Ideally someone with good verbal skills and somebody who's had some experience with writing or publishing. And then when you get their feedback, then you can use their comments to guide your revisions. After your break, you're going to see things that you missed before, and it's a really good idea to read your work out loud anytime you're proofreading. And I always tell people that if I could only give everybody one piece of writing advice, this would be it. Read your work out loud. If you haven't tried this, I'm telling you, you're going to be amazed at how well it works. It is the best way by far to catch mistakes, to catch poor sentence structure, even to see things with content and organization. So it's not just about sentence structure, it also goes deeper than that. There is a mountain of evidence to support this, that this is by far the best proofreading method, so I strongly recommend it. So another good revision tip is to use what we call a reverse outline. Now, some of you, I'm sure, have made pre-writing outlines, and a pre-writing outline, of course, is a blueprint of what you plan to write. A reverse outline has the same structure. They're going to look very much the same, but a reverse outline is made after you've already written a draft, and it's a map of what you've written. So you're going to use the same kind of structure that you would use with a pre-writing outline, and whatever that structure is, it should very clearly visually differentiate among main ideas, support for main ideas, and any kind of analysis or commentary or discussion of those main ideas. And you can see I'm using what I would call a hierarchical or subordinating structure, meaning that I have my bullet point with the little circle for my main idea, and then I've indented over one with a dash for support for that main idea. So you're going to do that, and that's going to make it very easy to visually determine at a glance what your main ideas are and what your support for your main ideas are. And if you do a good job with this, a reverse outline is going to show you if you have too many topics in one paragraph. It's going to tell you which paragraphs are out of place, so it's going to help you to determine the organizational structure for your paper and whether it's working or whether it's not. It's going to help you understand if you need more evidence to support any of your points, if you need more analysis of that evidence. It's going to tell you if you're repeating yourself unnecessarily, which is something I see all the time. And it's really difficult when you've written a 15-page paper. It's just really hard to remember from page 1 to page 10 exactly what all you've covered so far. And certainly it's hard to remember what order you've covered it in. So what a reverse outline does is it's going to take that big, long paper that you've written that's 15 pages or 10 pages, and it's going to condense it down into this easy little visual 2 or 3 page map, and it's going to make it much easier to see what you've already done. Reverse outlines are also good to help you write topic sentences. So if you struggle to write topic sentences, it will help you see what your main points are. It can help you get a better idea of the relationship of each main idea, each paragraph, each section to your overall thesis. You're going to find that some things might need to be cut because they don't really directly relate to the purpose of your paper because you've gotten distracted and gone down a rabbit hole. It's going to make that really, really obvious. Now you can reverse outline an entire paper, or you can just take a problem section. Like if you're thinking, I don't like the organization of this section, or there's something about this section that's bothering me, you can just reverse outline that part. So you can use it as needed. So to make a reverse outline, you're going to go through your draft paragraph by paragraph, and on a fresh sheet of paper, you're going to list the main point in every paragraph, the main idea of each paragraph. Or if you don't like that list format, you can use post-it notes on a wall. You can use index cards that you spread out on the table in front of you. You can just scribble notes in the margin of the printed out draft. You can do it in comment bubbles in Word. I mean, it's very free form. Nobody's going to see this but you. I like the formal written on a separate sheet of paper outline, but there's a lot of ways you could do this. So you're going to highlight your main ideas, and then you're going to note your supporting details and analysis. So here's how I do it. So paragraph 1 would be, there's the main idea of that paragraph, and then indented over, here's, the statistic that I've used to support that, and here's another piece of information from an article that I've used to support that main idea, and then here's some analysis and some sort of reaction to that piece of information that I just gave, some commentary, and then moving on to the second paragraph, here's main idea 2, supporting detail, analysis, supporting detail. And if you go through your whole paper like this, or whatever problem section you're looking at, you're going to turn that 10 to 15 page paper into a 3 or 4 page map of ideas that's very visual. If you're a visual learner, it's going to be the best thing you've ever learned. Very easy to digest at a glance and to see problems. People absolutely love this technique, and I've taught writing now since 1999. And the number one piece of writing advice I've given people over the years, when I would look at my course evaluations and just things that people have thanked me for teaching them, this is probably it. People love the reverse outline because it just makes revision so much easier. It highlights the problems so much better than any other technique. So I'm going to show you an example, and I'm not even going to read this paragraph to you. If you want to read it, you can pause right now and read this. But I just wanted to show you what a sample reverse outline could look like of a paragraph. Now, I am Lisa Simpson, and I'm, very perfectionist oriented, so mine are very detailed. But yours do not have to be as detailed as this. You can use more abbreviated language. You can be a little less detailed. As long as you understand it, it's fine, because you're the only person that's going to see it. So just scribble out whatever you need to get the gist. But this is what one might look like. So we've got our topic sentence of paragraph 1. The studies focused on the factors that predict the use of home care services by Mexican American elders. And then we've got some support for that, which is that institutionalization is expensive, that home care tends to equal better outcomes for elders, that home care provides assistance and education to caregivers and reduces caregiver burden. So those are our main support items for that main idea. And then we've got some commentary on that. So on institutionalization is expensive, we've got them pointing out that home care can delay that expense. For support number 2, which is that home care equals better outcomes for elders, we've got specific details about that. That the better outcomes can be prevention or delay or control of acute illness, management of chronic conditions. And then for support number 3 about home care providing assistance to caregivers and reducing caregiver burden, we've got that some studies show that higher burden equals more admissions to long-term care and more use of home care services. So, this is how one paragraph might go with a reverse outline. So moving on from that, it's very important to think carefully about how to organize your paper. What a lot of us unfortunately do is we will sit down to write a first draft, and we will write our paragraphs in whatever order those ideas happen to occur to us at the time. Now, the problem with that is that, most of us think in a stream of consciousness. So it may be that you think very linearly, and that whatever order the ideas happen to occur to you in when you wrote your first draft is in fact the most logical order for those ideas, but a lot of times it's not. So it's just important to set aside some time to think about how to organize your paper, what is the most logical flow of ideas, and whatever organizational structure you hit upon, whatever order your paragraphs and sections are in, just make sure that it's that way because you chose it that way, that it was purposeful and logical and not just random. And the best way to do this is to A, think about it in the first place, and then B, allow yourself to experiment. So be willing to move paragraphs around, to try different things, and find the most logical flow of ideas. And some people worry about doing this because they worry that they're going to forget how they had it originally. So there's an easy fix for that. That is to just save a master copy of your draft that you're not going to touch, that you're not going to change, and then open 2 or 3 new documents and copy and paste that draft. And those are your experimental versions where you can move things around and not worry about losing your original. Okay, so that's all, guys. These are just some very basic tips for clearer writing. Here's my references list if you'd like to do some more reading, and you can pause that so that you have time to take notes on that if you want to. I hope you've enjoyed this and that it's been helpful for you. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this, and I hope everybody has a great day.